Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Brain Tool Show, reporting live and direct from some dumpy old basement somewhere in Chicago. Ladies and gents, put your hands together, nod your ears, and guess what? Here comes Rob the Brain and his co-host, the Tool Man. Hey there, Tool Man, take it away, bud.
And good evening and good morning, everybody listening on CB Radio Drama Free, Twitch, and YouTube. You've got your famous co-host, the one and the only Buffalo Tool, reporting live and direct. Not from a dumpy basement in Chicago like Rob, but I am reporting from a luxurious townhouse in Houston, Texas. How's everybody doing tonight? Rob, how are you tonight? I haven't seen you for like a week. How have you been?
I've been doing the best I can. Yes, I have. Actually, considering it's it really, this is interesting. I don't know if you noticed, but tonight is a special night for everybody, and including you there, Buffalo Tool. This is the last show we air in 2018. The very last one.
Oh, you don't say. Is it that time of year already? Man, I'm stuck in history. I thought it was still October.
I don't know. It's not October, really. We're in November. I think you're just about a month away. But yeah. We've come to the very, very final end of the year. And you know what that means? The end of the year. Yeah. That means Christmas has gone. Turkey Day has been done. Thanksgiving is over. Thanksgiving has been recapped, and you're the winner, by the way. And of course, Halloween is gone. Easter is gone. What the hell? Even 4th of July is gone. Oh my God, now that I think of it, there's no holidays left.
Whoa, wait a minute. We still have one holiday left. We got New Year's Eve for 2018. You know, the ball dropping, everybody likes to get drunk and make an ass about themselves and all that stuff, I mean, we still got New Year's Eve.
Yeah, but that's soon to go too.
Well, you know what, Rob, since this is the last show in 2018, you know what I think we should do? I think we should use some of the time to recap some of 2018's most memorable events and or other items of which I don't have the documents from higher sources, but I'm pretty sure that you might have them on your fax machine.
How can I get documents from higher sources since the government is shut down? And to be honest with you, I don't even have that anymore. Fax machine. Oh, God. Speaking of fax machines, that is so 90s. But hey, it still works.
Oh, don't tell me you don't have a fax machine over there in the Brain Tool Studios, because I'm reporting live and direct from a remote location this evening. You're still stuck in the studios. You've got to have that fax machine. Remember, it's over there in the corner. Look, you know the recliner that I always sit in when I'm doing my, investigative reporting? Remember last week I was doing the Mountain Dew shortage thing? I sat in that recliner. If you look just to the left of the recliner, look under all those papers and stuff. It's covering the fax machine, but there's a bunch of papers and old newspapers and whatnot, and I think there might be a pair of my slippers on there. Take all that stuff off. There's a fax machine there. Turn it on, and, power, and then I bet you will find a document from maybe higher, could be lower sources.
Hang on. I think, oh, yep, there's one old document from a lower sources. Here's another one. And another one. And another one. Jesus Christ, how many? I'm just going to turn it on. Hang on one second.
Okay. Now, just be careful. Don't go too low on the documents because some of them are really, really old. You may find a Declaration of Independence in there, too, that's freshly sent via fax. Via fax machine. So Be careful with that one because it's probably on old parchment paper.
A little too late now. I think I went a little older than that. Yeah, I have some documents from the Hyksos period of the ancient Egyptians.
Oh, wow. That's really old. Wow. Man, that must be some good paper.
Of course, yes, and it's made out of lotus tree. But anyway, that's not the case. It reads, and I quote. Hang on, let me read this correctly. Yep, that's what it read.
Did it rip? Oh my goodness! Now the Smithsonian's never going to buy it for us.
No. It's still in great condition. I'm just reading it, and it says this here, and you can quote me on this. Okay, right. That's what it said.
You mean it didn't say 7 years ago? Uh-oh. Rob, it looks like... Hold on. You might want to check the text box. It looks like we have a familiar name in the text box.
What in the world? Is this... my eyes are deceiving me, I suppose, or so I suppose.
Do you see that? I don't have the document with me because it wouldn't really print off because of the government shutdown. Those documents don't come in anymore. But it looks like we have a via email document from higher sources. We have... Now, it's hard to believe that this gentleman is the strongest man in the world, but he calls himself Artie, the strongest man in the world. Now, I can't believe that he would be stronger than Sandman, boasting 65-inch shoulders, but Artie, the strongest man in the world.
Not to mention, I can't buy that. I really can't. I mean, you're talking about Sandman, the guy who noodled a 155-pound fish one single-handedly. Yeah, I mean, the guy... No. He can't be the strongest man in the world. Sandman is.
I heard it was a 200-pound fish.
No, you're wrong. It was 155 pounds. That's exactly what he said. Or was it 255 pounds? I'm not sure now.
Wait a minute. I'm getting an email here from the Noodling Club of the United States, and it says it was 355-pound fish with a single hand.
Okay. Well, at least you got the email. I miss it when we used to get real documents from higher sources, such as this one. I really miss that.
Oh, I know. I miss it too. I really miss it too. Now, I'm going to throw a question out there for Artie, the strongest man in the world. Artie, answer this question here on CD Radio Drama Free Brain Tool Show, exclusively on the Zello Radio Network. Artie, how much can you bench press? You're the strongest man in the world.
Hello, world. I'm Artie, the strongest man in the world. Stretching, workout, bench press. I would have to say... Do you want that answer in metric?
Well, if you can give us metric and standard, because some of us are over in the UK and all over the world, because the United States is the only nation in the world that does not use metric system. So could you please give us both?
Oh, before you go, continue. Also, I would like it in Celsius and Fahrenheit. Thank you.
Rob, we're not asking for anal probe thermometer here. We're just asking for pounds or kilograms or grams or whatever.
Well, I am very good at pressing. I would have to say 859 pounds, which would be equivalent to a shit ton in metric. And I always run a steady 98.6 Fahrenheit. That's anally, of course.
Whoa. Whoa. Did he just say in steady 98 degrees Fahrenheit? 98 degrees. Yeah. That was a great band back in the 90s.
Not as great as the ever famous B-52s, which I think they ran an anal thermometer check of 52 degrees Fahrenheit, so which means they were dead.
Does that mean they still own the Love Shack?
Well, what do you think B-52 stood for? It was butt 52 degrees. So they were checking their temperature anally. Butt 52.
I'm sorry, I'm still trying to process this here. Just give me a moment.
Okay, process this, Rob. Anal, butt, butthole, thermometer, up the hole. Got it?
Beep, bop, boop, boop, beep, beep, beep. Cannot compute. Cannot compute.
Are you getting error 404 again?
That's when I go on the internet. No, actually, I don't have error 404. I'm actually getting ERR on my calculator.
Okay, take your calculator, type in 8008135, and then turn it upside down.
Boobless! No, wait a minute. I have boobs. Hey, I resent that.
Yeah, we've seen your pictures decorating your Christmas tree.
Okay, well, wait a minute. Now, since Artie is the strongest man and he bench presses all that, the better question is, can he bench press a taco?
A what? Can you repeat that, please? Signal 9, please.
A taco. Can he bench press a taco? A taco, yes. Preferably a barbacoa taco.
Oh, well. Yes, Artie, can you bench press a barbacoa taco? But it depends. Is the taco just from the regular barbacoa taco stand? Is traditional on Sunday mornings? Or is it from a taco bigger than your head taco stand, which means it's going to weigh more and it's bigger than your head? And it depends on whose head it is, because if I recall, if it's bigger than Adam's head, it's a pretty damn big taco.
Did you say Adam's head? Yeah, see, that's the problem with Adam's head. It would be a very good sizing measure, considering how much you would see things orbiting around his big fat head. I mean, really, you come by and you say, "Hey, Adam, how you doing?" And there goes the other planet Jupiter orbiting his eyes, making a sun. What do you know? Eclipse.
Lunar or solar?
Well, if I'm bench pressed as that much to say, I guess it would have to be solar. Yeah, because he shines, he radiates. When he goes out in the street, people go, "Oh man, why didn't you tell me you're coming out, man, so I could put on some glasses?" And then he does this. Oh, do you know what happens when he does that? He deflates at least 2 cubic feet of absolute toxic waste. It is amazing. That man is amazing.
Artie? So can you bench press that big taco?
Oh, yeah. I can bench press a taco. You can leave it on the taco truck and I'll pick it right up and I will bench press that thing. And I want to be lifting that, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn around, set that taco truck down, and I'm going to put that taco in my mouth. I'll even one up that. I'll la bambas, as big as your head, as big as anybody's head. I'll bench press that. I got it. Look at the work, boy. Look at the work.
Well, that reminds me of a funny story. When I was over in Oklahoma and I got into a fight with the Indians at the casino, and I ripped that truck right off the bed of my truck, straps and all, and I threw it through the front door of the casino. Yeah, I showed those Native American Indians who's boss.
Did you mean to tell me that you actually took that whole truck and you tossed it out like that? Like it's nothing?
Just like it's nothing, I picked that truck up off the bed of my truck, ripped the whole straps off and everything, and I threw it through the front door of this casino because those Indians, they made me mad, and I was very upset. They tried to pick a fight with me. There was like 26 of them against me, and I took them all on.
1 little, 2 little, 3 little. Ah, never mind.
And good evening there, fornicating. Welcome to the Brain Tool Show. And yes, I remember that song when I was in elementary school about the 1 little, 2 little, 3 little engines. And I took them all on and I blasted them back into their teepees.
Well, hang on. I wanted you to guys hear this. Do you remember this?
Light up, lucky, it's light up time. Be happy, go lucky, it's light up time.
For the taste that you like, light up a Lucky Strike.
Relax, it's light up time.
You know, you have to love the 60s. Back then, you could actually advertise for cigarettes. That was an advertisement for Lucky Strike cigarettes. Yeah, care to hear for one more? I have one that will bake your noodle.
Wait, did you say advertisements?
I said advertisements.
No. That's like saying garbage instead of garbage.
No, listen, we are an international show. We have a lot of British people that listen in. One of which I believe our friend Psycho Backpuss was just on here 20 minutes ago. He was running amok. So I figured, hey, maybe if I just say things where he can comprehend, it would make me even more like, hey, dude, yeah, I sound English. Yeah, check it out. Yeah. So, yeah, advertisement.
Wait, Psycho Bagpuss was on here? It is way too early for him to be on CB Radio Drama Free. I mean, it's got to be like, 5 o'clock in the morning for him? No way, he was on 20 minutes ago. He's probably got to be snuggled up in his bed, covered up under his blanket with his little fluffed up pillow, and, probably got his little British teddy bear next to him, and maybe a picture of Giggles also.
Oh, and the Queen. Yeah. The man sleeps on the voice of the Queen going, "Good day to you all. Today's going to be my jubilee, and I will be saying hello to you all. Well, this is lovely, isn't it? Well, I was wondering where are my gods in the night of the garter." It's like, what the hell did you just say? But, for the British, she sounds very soothing.
Okay, Rob, hold on just a second. You know what? This is going to require another drink. Hold on. Okay, there's that. Okay. Now, let me get the other bottle here. All right. Now, I want you to listen to this. Ah, yes, refreshing. and I will take a picture of it and post it in here momentarily.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, now that we're recapping really interesting things, I mean, I might as well actually make you hear this. This is something I've been working on. Really, honestly, I've been working on this project because we're coming on to the year's end and we're remembering every decade as we possibly can. So we're sticking with the '60s for now. And there's another commercial that's coming your way right away with Burger King now. No, it's not. Actually, Burger King wasn't around advertising at the time, but there is another product that everyone loves every single day, and this is exactly what I say.
Our friend Happy Joe Lucky has the right idea. Relax and light up a better tasting Lucky Strike. You'll find that Luckies do taste better, and for good reasons. First, LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. And then that fine, good tasting tobacco is toasted. It's toasted to taste even better, cleaner, fresher, smoother. So light up a Lucky. You'll say it's the best tasting cigarette you ever smoked.
For the taste that you like, light up a Lucky Strike.
Right now.
Light up a Lucky. It's light up time.
Ah, Lucky Strikes. I don't smoke, but that sounds like a good advertisement. That's the word I'm looking for. Advertisement.
No, actually, it's advertisement. Okay, whatever. But this is the point I'm trying to get at, is that I love how they actually advertised for it back in the day. They say it's toasted. Actually, back then, Lucky Strike literally had their, the big circle with the word Lucky Strike in the middle, and it says it's toasted. They make it sound like it's like a baked good, this is toasted. I like a toasted tobacco. I wonder what I would do with it. Can I put like cream cheese on it? No! How dare you? You light it up. It's light up time with Lucky Strike.
Light up time? Put some ketchup on it. Ketchup always makes everything taste better.
Yes, indeed. Well, it's been what, a long 2018 has been a very, very interesting year, really, both on a political spectrum, economical, and on a personal as well. So, I think in order for us to actually end the year with a big bang, we really, really should recap the year. And we're about to open the mics very soon. We're just wondering, what would be the event of the year? What would you consider, this is the event that defied 2018?
Well, Rob, from personal experience, I can say that when I took a road trip, work-related, of course, and I went to Minnesota, and I got to experience this for myself, okay? Personally, good experience. I met up with Fornicate and Miss Winelicious and Adam. Sorry for the cough there. But I think that the most wonderful experience that I experienced in Minnesota for 2018 was the birth of Mr. Fornicate's and Miss Winelicious' grandson. They were really, really proud of their grandson. So I would say that the birth of their grandson was a good top event for 2018. What do you think?
Well, yes, of course, that is a very big event. For me personally, it's a completely different event. If I was to honestly say the best thing ever happened to me in 2018, and I kid you not, and I'm not kidding about this, of course, meeting up with friends and meeting all these ROC members, friends and family and that sort of thing, that's all good and dandy. But to me personally, the defining moment for me that actually I can sum it down to a couple of moments is the first time we aired the Brain Tool Show. Yes. This is this 2018 is the Brain Tool Show year, in my opinion. And so we started off as a joke, really, on a serious moment. It started off as a joke, and we would go in the channel and start talking about it. And yeah, you and I would pretend that this is a radio station, and we would come up with very funny things in the spare of the moment. And that was the event that makes it for me. When you and I clicked and said, "Hey, why don't we make a show of it?"
You're right, Rob. That was right. We started off as a joke. I thought, shoot, Rob the Brain, he's a little arrogant. He's got that accent like, he's in Florida. And you know what, Rob? I actually got rid of my encyclopedia set because I met you. I said, why do I have encyclopedias at the house? Why do I have Google when I've got Rob the Brain? And at that point, I figured, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do a CB radio drama-free show. You and I, we know it. We've got documents from higher sources. Let's just go ahead and do this as a joke. And next thing you know, boom, we are on Twitch and YouTube and here on CB Radio Drama Free. And we've got listeners, we've got followers, we've got groupies, we've got dead hookers in the green room. We've got it all.
Yeah, we do actually. Making a light of the situation, you're right, and it is. We've had a very, very fun time, prepping for the show, getting it ready, coming up with ideas, fighting naysayers, going online, duking it out with whoever hates us or loves us for that matter, and just recently, I think we made it. Listen, check this out. The wife and I were having lunch, and so next thing you know, an Asian couple, come up to us and say, "Excuse me, aren't you Rob the Brain?" I says, "Yes, I am actually. How can I help you?" And he says, "Can we take a photo with you, please? Can we, because we listen to, we're big fans of the Brain Tool Show." I says, "Oh, no way, really?" And he says, "Yeah, they are." So decidedly, I says, "Well, okay, my very first." Fan appearance, and people wanted autographs, and okay, so we took a photo and I gave them an autograph, and they didn't buy us lunch. Damn those bastards.
You know what? The very first fan I met, I was at the truck stop and I was backed into my parking spot and I was getting ready to go to bed, and this lot lizard came up. She knocked on my door. She says, "Hey, I recognize you through the windshield. Aren't you Buffalo Tool?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am, I sure am." She says, "Ah, I love your show. I would do anything to spend the night with you." And I said, whoa, lady. This must be against the law." She said, "Oh, no. There will be no money exchanged, no favors exchanged. I just want to spend the night with the one and only Buffalo Tool." I said, "Lady, you don't have any teeth. And you're obviously wearing sweatpants from 1983, so I don't think I really want to spend the night with you." But she said she was my number one fan. And I'm sure Artie, the strongest man in the world, probably has a number one fan. But I said, "No, ma'am, I'm sorry. I cannot do that."
The price of fame, that's the price we pay. Being famous, of course, and that's a little difficult in my opinion. Really, it's hard to walk down the street and not be recognized nowadays. I used to love my privacy, and I still do. Don't get me wrong. And lots of times I'll be on a red light, driving my car, minding my own business, and there'll be like a car somewhere near us, and then it's like they look at me and they take a double take. It's like, whoa, wait a minute, whoa. And then they wave, and I'm like, "Yeah, hi," and I waved like gently. And then this police officer pulled me over once, and he says, "Look, I'm not here to give you a ticket. I just need an autograph. I need an autograph." I says, "Well, do you even know who I am?" He says, "Yeah, you're Rob the Brain, part of the Brain Tool Show." I says, "Well, yes." And he asked about you. He says, "Where's the tool man?" I says, well, he lives elsewhere, right?" And he says, Yeah, but I thought you guys were together and stuff. Says, "Yeah, we are. We do the show together and everything. But he has a life and I have mine." And he didn't even give me a ticket, but he all he wanted was an autograph. All right, well, and then I think the bastard took a picture of my car, the license plate, because I did see a lot of cops down my street going back and forth. I think they're hounding me.
Well, you know what? Today, I went with my cousin down to the store, down to Walmart, and we must have been in a bad part of town because all I wanted was some deodorant, and the deodorant was behind locked doors, locked glass. And I said, what the crap is going on with the deodorant behind locked, they must be making meth out of it. But you know what? We have another doctor in the channel. He's almost like Dr. Phil. I don't know. He's a doctor. Doctor something or other. Maybe he can tell us what's going on with all of this. Doctor, can you kind of elaborate on why the deodorant would be behind locked glass doors?
Yeah, hey, this is Dr. Steve Brule, everybody. It's so nice to be on the show. And just a quick tip for you all from a doctor as myself. You don't need deodorant, man. You got a little perspiration down there, just throw on another shirt. Shoot, man, just let it soak it all up. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, they put that deodorant behind glass because people like to take that stuff and they're selling it on the black market as cream cheese. And so they're putting it in little boxes and so they got to protect that stuff. You know, it happened a long time ago when people were cutting Simulac for crack, and then they started doing this thing with the deodorant. So just beware for all you cream cheese lovers. And throw on an extra shirt, by God.
Whoa. Is this Dr. Brule? The Brule Rules? Are you kidding me? From Tim and Eric, awesome job, great, what? Awesome, no. What was it? Tim and Eric, something, great job? Yeah.
Wait, did you say blowjob?
No. See, look, here. Just at the turn of the century, Adult Swim on Cartoon Network, they used to have this great show. And it used to air sometime around like 4 in the morning, right? And it was called Tim and Eric, awesome show, great job. That's it. And believe it or not, that show was so random, extremely random, it didn't make sense. And and then all of a sudden, Dr. Brule Rules came on, and he would give you these beautiful, like, documentaries, and he was like, awesome.
Whoa, wait. Should we ask the real doctor, who is better than Dr. Phil, what he thinks about this subject?
Oh, yeah. See, that's the thing. Dr. Phil kind of stole my bit. And then John Tesh took it also. I used to give out some really nice life tips. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like the deodorant thing. Like I said, just put on some more shirts. And then John Tesh started doing the same thing and, just giving out weird life advice and life hacks and just saying for your life. And I'm like, dude, those are Brule's rules you're using there, my man.
Well, I'll tell you what, there, Rob and Doctor, whatever your name is there, I can't quite see what it is because I don't have my reading glasses on. But yeah, you know what? When my armpit starts to stink, I put some more deodorant on and another t-shirt, and I am good to go. Doesn't matter that I went to Walmart and the deodorant was behind locked doors. I'm thinking like, what the hell is going on here? Somebody's buying deodorant to make illegal drugs? Are you kidding me? Does anybody have a key to these glass doors? And they said, no, we just changed the locks and we don't have the keys. And I said, shoot, man, come on. Shoot. Like East Texas guy who has not been on the channel since I've been in Texas. I think he's scared of me.
I think he's dodging you. I think he's dodging you because he knows we're going to bring up a lot of interesting shit on our show today. In fact, In fact, I was wondering if I can ask our listeners if they ever heard this commercial before.
I said, Wilma, want to go to the beach? And she said, I'd love to. Love? Guess she sort of goes for me.
Oh, she won't go for your breath.
You need Scope. My breath's bad.
Will Scope help? Sure, Scope's strong. Leaves your breath really clean, fresh.
You're right, and it tastes great.
Now Wilma will really go for you.
Scope helps keep you face to face.
That commercial aired literally in 1972. Isn't that amazing? I mean, really. I promised our viewers that we will be celebrating the years as we go by, and here we're stuck in the 70s. That was a great commercial. I honestly loved it because if you see it, it's so lame.
Do you remember the Frito Bandito?
Frito Bandito?
Oh yeah, he was a bandito that stole your Fritos.
Right. Oh yes, I do. Yes, I do remember that. But I wanted to ask Dr. Brule's rules for my life. If he has a particular memory of the 70s.
Oh, yeah. At the top of my list was 1972, the year bad breath ended. People with halitosis celebrated. And other than that, I'd probably have to say are we looking at just the 1900s?
Well, particularly the 70s. It was an interesting decade, you see. The 70s gave us a lot of good music, lots and lots of beautiful rock and roll, and also came along with it disco. So, and there was a whole lot of culture that came along with it, politically and economically, along with, you had two different cultures, musically speaking. You either disco or rock and roll. Those are the only two options you had. Jazz was starting to dwindle down, and guess what? People were actually stop saying things like, she's a nice dame, or stop chasing that skirt. People stopped saying these things. Those were the words rad and cool, man, started coming out, believe it or not, and they become more dominant in the language.
Who wants to be governor?
While the duns sleep, an evil thing happens. A pasty film covers their mouths, teeth. They wake with the worst breath of the day.
Morning.
Mouthwash. Scope?
I use mine.
Yours leaves your breath medicine-y. Smell. Not minty like Scope.
But mine clean.
Can't clean your mouth better than Scope.
All right. Clean.
Morning.
Scope fights bad breath. Doesn't give medicine breath.
Oh, there it was, 1972 again. Everybody was just let out this big sigh of relief because then they knew nobody could smell it.
It's all about bad breath.
I can't smell. I'm sorry. I don't think so.
Please, the baby, no.
Oh, not a good idea. Not now.
Fight morning breath with Scope. Scope has two powerful ingredients that kill 90% of the bacteria that cause morning breath.
Your kiss is ready. Fuck around.
Right on the kisser. Come on. Kiss morning breath goodbye with Scope.
Give me that kiss.
So the 70s, if anything, to sum up the 70s, you have to love the fact that Scope was running commercials like crazy. Moving on to the years, we've come across, actually, I came across this, and I hope our viewers and listeners and participants would actually get a kick out of it. Do you remember this ad? I hope you do, because every time I see it, I'm thinking, why would anybody remember this?
waits for you. That spirit comes shining through, promising you a great day. How could you think of starting this bright new morning without your K? Double L, always double good with Kellogg's. You'll have a great day.
Kellogg's has been making great days for more people for more years with more cereals than anyone. Corn Flakes, Rice Krispies, Frosted Flakes, Product 19. Trust your mornings to Kellogg's.
Very next part of starting your bright new morning is Kellogg's way. It's not far away. Kellogg's will help you say there's gonna be a great, we're gonna see a great, it's gonna be a great day.
Oh man, I love Kellogg's cereal.
You know, it's funny. They mentioned a lot of their lineup, but one that actually captured my interest. Do you remember it was called Product 19? What in the world is that thing? I mean, it sounded like it sounded like something got out of a basement. What is that? It's Product 19. What do you mean it's Product 19? Define Product 19. It's 19. Stop asking questions. Or else the men in black will knock on your door and just say, hey, how'd you know that there's 19 things in that thing?
Product 19 sounds like something that came from Area 51.
You're spot on. That particular ad was aired in 1981. Right. You've heard it. It had a little bit of disco in it. And at the very end, this jazz hand, like, it's gonna be a great day. It's like, really? I don't know, man. I mean, back then the commercials were long. This commercial was really a minute and a half. Can you believe it? A minute and a half for that song. And that aired in 1981. Yeah, Kellogg's. All right. Well, see, that's the thing about these years, is that there's lots and lots of things to remember. And of course, some of these products are not around anymore, like, Lucky Strikes, for example. I don't even know if they still make that cigarette, but that's not the point. That's not the point. The point here is this, is that some products you will recognize here throughout this broadcast, or others you wouldn't even know. But we are remembering the years, so I hope you actually have a particular ad that you, the viewer, aka listener, remember or like.
Well, here we go. I think I've had a little bit too much to drink, which is good for the Brain Tool Show. But here's another ad.
Chocolate, scrumptious, crunches. I love Nestle Crunch. That's why I love
Whoa. Whoa is the right word. Where do they make these? I mean, I can't believe somebody actually saved those commercials. And I'm actually grateful. Don't get me wrong. I'm not making fun of them. It's kind of nice to see the culture back then. And commercials were no different. They are a window into the culture or the mindset that the people were in back in that particular decade. Whether they're dressed funny or they spoke something weird, or the music even, it tells you what culture that was. And so that I thought was rather interesting.
Well, let me surprise you with another one, Rob. Oops, hold on.
Just a reminder that every week in TV Guide, you'll find something brand new. Pick up your copy of TV Guide today. It's the best thing on television, and it's on sale now.
TV Guide is no longer in circulation, which is really funny. I thought that was pretty funny, in my opinion. That's a good ad. That's a very good ad. I remember Even throughout the 90s, they tried to revamp TV Guide, and it didn't catch on really much. By the end of the 90s, TV Guide was something a figment of somebody's imagination. People stopped reading this stuff. Who cares what was on television or cable for that matter? It didn't matter. It was just what mattered is that you have a clicker and you can sit back and surf the clicker.
That's because, according to Egon Spengler, print is dead.
I will tell you what, I had a clicker, and it was good as long as the AA batteries were good. Which AA batteries also went into the, what do you call it? The self-pleasure atmosphere of the Brain Tool Show.
Are you talking about the East Texas Fist? I think that's what you mean.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. I'm a little bit disappointed in the East Texas guy Fist because I have been in East Texas for 2 days and he has failed to contact me because I think he is scared of the real Buffalo Tool.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know if he's scared would be the appropriate one here, but, well, he has been dodging you for the most part because he knows you're around, see. I don't think you're going to be hearing from him for another 2 or 3 days until you actually start saying things like, oh, I made it to Wisconsin or something.
Yeah, because as long as I'm in Texas, he's not going to key up.
I guess so. Well, let me give you one more ad from early 80s. I hope you guys like this one. I don't know. I don't know what it is. This one I call a random one. A friend of mine sent it to me, and I have yet to crack it open. So let's see how that turns out.
What's in this little blue egg that keeps Barbara Eden looking slim and trim?
Ooh, there's only one answer to that. It's Legs Control Top Pantyhose. See, Legs slims and trims but doesn't bind. So you get comfort and control.
Stretching, bending, standing, setting. Just one pantyhose that's always spinning. Nothing beats a great pair of legs.
Don't mess with Texas.
What in the world was that, Buffalo Tool?
It was an advertisement for Don't Mess with Texas, which means don't litter in the state of Texas. Don't throw that candy wrapper out. Don't throw that gum wrapper out or that cigarette box out. Don't mess with Texas. There's a lot of bumper stickers would say don't mess with Texas. If East Texas guy was on the channel, he would know because, but then again, I think he's avoiding me.
Oh, yes, of course he is. Of course he is. He's dodging you like the plague. I've been asking all these questions to our viewers, and not one actually bothered to say what commercial or what decade did they appreciate it or like. I'm a little disappointed, to tell you the truth. But before we go into that, here's another commercial that might actually ring up back in the 80s.
Jordache has look if that's right. The Jordache look. The Jordache look.
Yeah, the Jordache look. Does anybody remember the Jordache look?
Oh, I remember the Jordache look. That was hot.
No, but it brings to mind all the British knights they gave away on Double Dare.
Was that Dave Coulier?
I'm not sure, but I know this. This is another one that I find it's near and dear to my heart personally.
There really is a Kentucky Fried Chicken school.
Yep, today we're making the Colonel's original recipe.
What have you learned?
Fresh chicken makes the best chicken.
And that we use 11 herbs and spices.
Oh, but that's the Colonel's secret. And special pressure cooking.
So it's always tender and juicy.
Looks like you've learned to make great chicken.
Only way to serve our customers right.
It's so nice to live, so good about a meal, so good about Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Literally, that was the Colonel saying that. Only right. Poor man. He sounded like he was drunk, even though he wasn't. He was just an old man, that's all.
And you know what? That kind of reminds me of a good song. And I don't know if she's listening right now, but Space Dove, here you go. This is a good song just for you.
Whoa. Somebody's crying tonight?
There's always somebody crying tonight, especially those kind of people that have like a hairdo that the cow licked them on their hair and it looks like there's been extra gel. Then they cry because they love somebody that's on the channel and they can't have them anymore, so they go to another app. And they try to get everybody's attention, you know, guys' attention, and they send naked pictures of themselves. That kind of attention.
Hey, I only sent out like 5 of those, and I didn't know that everybody else knew about them. I'm just saying, my bad.
Oh, do you send naked pictures out to yourself about CB Radio Drama Free?
Well, sometimes I just send them to myself so I don't feel so lonely at night and cry myself to sleep singing those songs.
You know, sometimes I cry myself to sleep, but I have one of those like China doll type stuffed animals. Oh yeah. And then I cry to myself to sleep. I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it's all over with. Oh, you know what? I just want to cry myself to sleep. And I started listening to the song by Guns N' Roses, and I'm like, ah, shit. You know what? Forget it all. Fuck it. I want to move on with my life.
Right. And you, as you should. You know, it's been a very, very tumultuous year. And that's another event that Buffalo Tool has been through is, you know, through the all is fair through love and war sort of thing. And, you know, RC family knows all well too well about it, I believe. So that's another event. I mean, see, recapping the year is really hard. Really, really hard. I mean, which event really, really don't you forget? I personally remember when our friend Green Bay Packer Mama made her way, or her journey, should I say, from Reno, Nevada into the state of Illinois. And let me tell you, that was a journey.
That is right. You know what?
I could tell you a highlight of my year was when I was driving down the interstate and a truck full of East Texas guy fists just smashed on the highway, and it was spread out all over the road, and I ran out to grab a few, and that took care of my lonely nights on the side note.
You know what? East Texas guy fists always, always, always make for a good night. It doesn't matter if you're lonely or accompanied by 6 or 7, shit, a dozen hookers. East Texas guy fists always make for a good night.
Well, East Texas Guy's Fist, the one with the vibrator, the vibrating one, they call it East Texas Guy V. This particular model has been recalled, you see, because every time somebody buys it, they get shocked. It shorts. You put a battery in, you run it. 20 minutes later, zap. Ooh, what the hell? Why am I being zapped? What the hell? So they almost got sued a couple of times, and so they says, oh, well, there's a flaw in the design, so I'm going to recall it.
What's up, guys? What's going on?
Hello, hello, and welcome to the show. This is the Brain Tools Show. Yes, you are on it. And welcome. How are you this fine evening? We've been asking our viewers and or listeners and participants such as yourself, what would be the event that defies this year? The one event that you can never get over and you can't forget.
My friend getting drunk and going in the Taco Bell butt bone naked. Yeah, that will be one day that I will never forget. Embarrassing as hell. So yeah.
You know what, Rob? I'm going to go ahead and answer your question for myself as co-host. I think my most memorable 2018 event was not only the creation of the Brain Tool Show, but that one time that I ran through the Flying J naked because I needed a shower. And they said, sir, you don't have enough points to take a free shower. And I said, you know what? Take your points and shove them up your ass. I'm going to run naked through your truck lot here until you give me a free shower. And they said, shoot, I need help moving my tiny house. I need to move my tiny house down the road about 35 miles. You think you can help me?
Is that what you said to them? Because as far as I remember, somebody else used to say that.
That's a Big 10-4.
I don't know that you want to be running around in public naked talking about your tiny house. I'm just saying.
Oh, we're just talking about my tiny house because Blue Diamond's got a tiny house. He needs to move, but I don't mean my tiny house that's inside my BVDs.
Okay, right. So, okay, all right. Another one of those very important, I think, stories that came through was the shortage. Yeah, there was a Mountain Dew shortage that happened around Christmas. True story, actually. You can look it up or Google it. And yeah, and we traced it here on the Brain Tool Show last episode, if I'm not mistaken. And so we came to the conclusion that it all came down to one guy and one and only guy that was that he had his hand messed up in this one.
That is right. That is right, Rob. There was an epicenter to the Mountain Dew shortage that was in California, I believe. And that epicenter was revealed on the last Brain Tool Show. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Good evening, guys. Hello there, Buffalo Tool and Rob the Brain.
Well, what it do there, little diamond guy? What is going on there? You get your tiny house moved?
Nope, got moved yet. It's supposed to be.
Well, I tell you what there, Blue Diamond, old Rattlesnake, he's got his Mountain Dew ordered to be as my own, and it's going to be over there at his house, that there house that Rattlesnake belongs to, and it's going to be there Monday.
You know, I've been meaning to pay a quick shout out to Pay TV. They've been airing our show throughout Twitch and other social medias, of course. YouTube is one of them as well. So to Pay TV, we say thank you very much. You guys have been a very good supporter of our show, and we love you. We thank you again. And I've been meaning to actually also give a shout out to a person named Mingling. Yes, Mingling, bro, we love you. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. We appreciate your support. So, yeah, and you know, Buffalo Tool. I remember when somebody rang the door on that house. Someone we know came answering the door. Do you remember who that was?
Let me see, would that be Giggles?
No. You don't remember your visit to Mr. Rattlesnake?
Oh, that's right. The reporter looking for the Mountain Dew shortage.
Correct. I remember that. That was epic. Yeah, it was. I mean, the man came in there with a very, very good song in his heart. Really turned out to be a sweet man. Really, very lovely guy. Answered the door. It's like, whoa, hey, how you doing? You got the Rattlesnake live and direct, you know?
That's right. He said, you know what? You got the Rattlesnake live and direct here on CB Radio Joffrey.
Yep. You know, well, we're halfway through the show, and you know, I've been really meaning to tell our viewers and our listeners, thank you. Really, it's been a very, very interesting year for us here at the Brain Tool Show, and not just the Brain Tool Show, also the RSC production. You know, to say thank you would be an understatement, and that's why we started releasing our new wear. Yes, you can honestly buy a piece of our show. Yes, you can. You can get your hands on a T-shirt. You can get your hands on stuff. I believe our producer right now would probably be putting in all the links below and in the text area. So click on those if you actually want to purchase a shirt or a T-shirt. I personally like the coffee mugs. Yeah, I have one over here, but I'm not drinking coffee now, so I'm not going to be showing it to you. Yeah. Once I make coffee, I'll show you a photo.
Wait, let's ask Buffalo Kitty. Does Buffalo Kitty want a T-shirt? Oh, wait. She didn't want to answer. Does Buffalo Kitty want a coffee mug? Oh, do you want a Buffalo Brain Tool Show backpack? Nope. Okay. Does she want a Brain Tool Show flea collar? Oh, she wants a flea collar.
And also, soon in 2019, we're actually thinking of bringing back a whole new trend. Yes, do you remember the old lunch boxes? Yeah. Guess what? We're going to bring back that trend. I personally love the idea of a lunchbox. And so we are going to make a Brain Tool Show lunchbox. Yeah, I know. You guys are thinking, whoa, that is big news. I know. We had to wait to this very episode at the end of the year, but we wanted to give you a heads up. 2019 lunchboxes coming out, Brain Tool Show, buy one, or, well, you'll be left out in the dark.
Wait, Buffalo Kitty, do you want a Brain Tool Show lunchbox? Oh, do you want the little coffee cooler that goes with it? Oh, shoot, do you want a backpack? Oh, how about a Brain Tool Show tumbler? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Do you want to meet Rob the Brain? Do you want to meet the actual producer, computer chick? There you have it, straight from the Buffalo Kitty.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Everybody needs to click their link, click that link, because it's like all your back to school shopping needs in one spot. Buy your kids a shirt, get them the backpack. Does the lunchbox come with a thermos?
I don't speak cat. Can anybody translate, please?
She said she wants to meet the real Rob the Brain.
Wait. By meat, she means what exactly? Because she was growling there for a moment. Is she gonna make a meat grinder out of me? Is that what she's planning on doing? Or beat me like saying, "Hi, how you doing? Nice to meet you."
I think it's the meat grinder.
I'm gonna go with that too. Yes, I totally agree with you because she was growling like an evil growl, like I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna kill you. No, I'm gonna shred you to pieces and feed you to the cats. Wait a minute, I am a cat, so I'm gonna eat you too.
Dude, like I literally was cooking some food real quick, and then all of a sudden, like the cat came on and started just and I tossed my whole food away, and I was trying to get my dog from not eating it.
Well, see, it's crazy. Cats are crazy. I think I love cats, but I'm not into them really. I mean, I love them from a distance, if you know what I mean. Cats, not. I'm a dog person, really. Personally, I think dogs have a much better personality and much more fun to be around. Whereas cats are very dependent, and you don't have to worry about them most of the time. Just give them food and clean their litter box, and everything is good.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I'm a dog person myself. I got a little Dutson, and she's adorable.
I'll tell you what, I got a pet mouse over here, and that cat, she wants to get all over that pet mouse every once in a while.
Every once in a while. That's interesting. Wait a minute. Hey, Buffalo 2. Snap out of it, man. Snap out of it. Cats and mice are not good friends.
Yeah, just ask Tom and Jerry. They figured that one out.
Well, I tell you what. Every once in a while on Tom and Jerry, I'll be watching that cartoon, and Tom and Jerry, she be friends every once in a while. Tom and Jerry, they be some good old buddies there sometimes at their cartoon.
Well, since that's the case, then let's have a little bit of fun with you there. Um, Buffalo 2. I'm going to ask you to count from 1 to 22. But when you get to 22, you're going to skip to 27 and then continue from there. Can you try that?
Right on. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 27, 28, 29, 30.
Yeah, you left out 26, 25. Yeah, you left those out too. And 24 and 23. You left them all out.
No, because I've got documents from higher sources here that said that I went all the way to 27.
Yeah, but you started at 22, you left out 23, 24, 25, 26, and then you jumped from 22 to 27 right away, man. I mean, what happened to those other numbers? They count, you know, they do count.
Okay. Oh, okay. Wait. What? Repeat that. What did you want me to do again? Start from scratch. Okay, hold on. What did you want me to do?
Count to 12, and when you get to 12, start at 27.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 27, 28, 29, 30.
No. You got it all wrong there, man. You got it all wrong. You see, here's the thing. You left out from 12 all the way to 27. You left all those numbers out. I mean, what happened to them? Why? You know, you shouldn't be drinking more. You keep forgetting stuff.
Well, let me tell you what, Rob. I have my Granny 420 memory foam inserts in my boots. So there's no way that I can forget anything. You said count to 12 and then skip 27. So I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 4, and 35.
You left out 36, 37, so on and so forth. You left those out too, don't forget. I mean, see, that's the problem with you, man. It's like when you drink, you start like making up numbers and skipping numbers and adding them and subtracting them and multiplying them. Some of them you even go into division and even go as far as square rooting them.
What? Are you saying that I can't count?
No, I'm saying you become a genius when you drink.
Well, you know what? Some of us, when we have just a little bit of alcohol in ourselves, kind of like that one guy, what's his name? Artie? Artie, the strongest man in the world?
Is Artie here still? I mean, I think Artie just backed up his bags and he's bench pressing 2 burritos and a stick.
He better be bench pressing 4 Doritos and a stick.
If you put 2 burritos and a stick in the middle, does that make it as what? A baradumble? Would you call that a baradumble? Or would you call that Dorito? Yeah.
It'd be a burriton or 2.
You know, it does make sense too.
I know what's wrong with Buffalo 2. Why he's skipping all them numbers. East Texas kept leaving the channel every time Buffalo 2 would come on the channel there. That's what's wrong with him. He missed talking to Buffalo. Yep, he forgot that.
Oh my God! Can I share? This is a moment from a few years past. I don't know if is it okay to share a moment, one of my shining moments in drunk history.
Go ahead, share that moment with drunk history.
But before you share your moment with drunk history, allow me to say this. Yes, share a moment with drunk history.
Best moment of my life. Got to take a sobriety test. Sheriff pulled me over in my own little hometown. I was driving back through my hometown at 2 in the morning. My shining moment, the only sobriety test I've ever had to take, the whole shebang, you know, finger to nose, etc., all of it. Got to do it absolutely, completely sober. Swear to God.
But let me ask you this question. Was your tongue green?
I'll try to keep the long story short for y'all. It's entertaining. So this Jeep that I was driving has some real loose steering, so apparently it looked like I was drunk. He pulled me over, and he's shining the light in my eyes. He said, "Your eyes look a little this or that." He asked me if I'd been drinking. I said, "No, sir." And then he said, "Have you been doing any drugs? You been smoking any marijuana?" And I said, "No." He said, "Well, your tongue's green," which is indicative of somebody that's been smoking marijuana. Now, I really wanted to say, "No, sir. No, sir, I don't think that's true." Because, I'm pretty sure that if you smoke pot, it doesn't leave your tongue green. But then again, I have the feeling he would have been like, "Oh, that's a giveaway, Yeah, only people that smoke pot know that." But I got to do the whole alphabet backwards, finger to nose, walked a straight line, heel to toe, backwards and forwards. He had me even do the breathalyzer. And I was just in heaven. I was like, "Oh my God. Oh my God, this is so awesome. This is the best ever." Because if I'm ever going to have to do all this stuff, I may as well do it sober.
Ready? Get set. Go! 1, 2 seconds, 3, 4, 5. What are you doing? 6, 7. Why aren't you trying to go get something? 9, 10. What is he doing? 12. You'll never get anything this way. 14, 15, 16. I'm sorry. 17. I'm sorry, sir. 19, I think you're not 20 seconds. Yes.
Did he explode or the thing exploded?
That was thunder.
You mean like thunder from Thundercats or thunder that went boom?
You know what? Let's just ask the Count.
What was that? Thunder and lightning. It always does that when I count. Thunder and lightning? Yes. That's two things that come from the sky. That means you win. You did it. I win. Yeah, I win. Yeah. Oh, wonderful. Yes.
Can someone guess what that was?
Let me let a listener listen to that again, and maybe they can come up with a deduction. A brilliant deduction.
It's time to start the music.
It's time to start the fun.
It's time to start something on the Muppet Show tonight. Oh, and I like the guy that just blows everything up at the end.
I was a big fan of Animal. Animal is my favorite.
I was a big fan. Statler and Waldorf. Those two wise asses sitting in the back. I swear to God, that could have been you and Buffalo Tool just sitting up there, in the peanut gallery.
That's kind of funny. No, it's not. Especially when they're like nothing is good for them. Honestly, through the years, we really have seen very good shows, and I am very disappointed to say that the Muppet Show has been not on, obviously, and it's a shame. It really is. I think if there's a show that should have been on the air to this very day, it had to be the Muppet Show. And maybe we should start a petition to bring back the Muppet Show.
I don't know if you caught it. They did kind of like a revival a few years ago, and it was almost like adult oriented. And I think Kermit even had like a thing for this other female frog, but it just didn't catch on. And I think it's because, like you said, it's a classic. It's a classic. You don't mess with it kind of thing. And they tried to revamp it, and I think that's why it didn't go over well.
Yeah, some things you don't mess with. If they kept it the way it is, Kermit and them, I think it would have been a lot much better. And just keep it the way it is. There's a lot of very good artists that would love to be on the Muppet Show. They grew up on the Muppet Show like we did. And so, some of them actually were inspired to become actors and singers and whatnot, just so they can make it to the Muppet Show. Personally, I loved the idea that one day I can come on to television and look right into the screen and scream, "Live from New York, it's Saturday night." But hey, it didn't happen. But look what I happened to do. I ended up doing the Brain Tool Show.
And now for another Muppet Thought of the Week.
Like a fine bottle of wine, appearance only improves with age. And trust me, with several bottles of wine, almost anyone can look absolutely gorgeous.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Give me more Miss Piggy with beer goggles. More Miss Piggy with beer goggles. I think we can all relate.
Beer goggles are always good.
See, really, honestly, it was a very risque show, to be honest with you, in a way. They had a lot of those innuendos that you really didn't have to pay attention to, but they were there. And if they were there, you were like, hey, I caught that. I see what they did there. And I thought that was brilliant. And that's exactly why that show should come back the way it was.
And now for another Muppet Thought of the Week.
Dreams are how we figure out where we want to go. Life is how we get there. I'm headed this way. My mistake. It's this way.
And what's absolutely, you mentioned, and just like that last one we just heard, and just like Miss Piggy, that's the kind of thing that I could go back to that show now and rewatch it and laugh my butt off at all these jokes that I never got when I was a kid. Because I watched that show when I was a kid, and what the hell would I have known about life being a tiny, small child? You know what I mean? But now I get it. I'm like, oh, this shit's funny now.
Exactly. When you actually rewatch the old episodes, it makes sense to you now. Really, because you're an adult, you understand those innuendos. See, this is actually a quality family show, in my opinion. The Muppet Show was a quality family show. Why? Because they had something for everyone. You know, for kids, hey, they had very funny sitcom or situational comedies. And for the adults, there were so many very, very high-end, well-worded innuendos that, your parents were laughing while you didn't. But hey, it didn't matter because the show was great.
Yeah, and maybe we could put this out there for other people listening. You know, what were some of the shows that you can go back and watch now, or you have gone back and watched now, that you're like, oh my God, I didn't get that when I was a kid, but now I get it, and that's funny. And if I would have gotten it as a child, what kind of a gutter-minded child was I, you know? I mean, one that I can think of, I go back and I watch some old Pee Wee Herman episodes, and there's one where Genie was trying to give the cowboy, which was Lawrence Fishburne at the time, some new boots, and then he gave his boot size, and Genie goes, well, you know what they say about guys with big boots, or big boot sizes or whatever, with big sizes of shoe, whatever, big shoe sizes. And everybody goes, what? And Genie goes, they wear big boots. Ha 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 ha.
Kids! Aye, aye, Captain! I can't hear you! Aye, aye, Captain! Oh! Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Yes, servant in yellow and porous is he. If nautical nonsense be something you wish, then drop on the deck and flop like a fish. Ready? SpongeBob SquarePants! SpongeBob SquarePants! SpongeBob SquarePants! SpongeBob SquarePants!
This is another one of those shows. Believe it or not, I think SpongeBob SquarePants was another one of those shows that to this very day, if you actually watch it, it's made for kids, but not for kids. Ren and Stimpy is another one of those. Made for kids, but not necessarily for kids. There's a lot of those shows that really didn't make sense when you were a child. And then when you grow older, it's like, hey, wait a minute, this is brilliant. I just wonder,
why don't they continue on these shows? And it's sad. It really brings a tear to my eye sometimes. Like, oh man, I feel nostalgic. And really, through the magic of YouTube, I love YouTube because you get to see things like that. But really, there should be a network that offers this for free for us, the adults who actually were kids at one time, and go back in history and say, got it.
Yeah. I mean, like, TV Land kind of started doing that back in the day. But, I mean, what are some of the other shows? I mean, I saw Mr. Talk Radio mention DuckTales. I need to go back and rewatch DuckTales. I don't know if he mentioned it because he missed it or because there's a lot of dirty jokes he's been going back and finding in there, in DuckTales.
I think he's got a lot of dirty jokes that he's been finding DuckTales because I found something.
Starring Barbara Billingsley, Hugh Beaumont, Tony Dow, and Jerry Mathers as the Beaver.
Oh, I'm going to be the first one to say it. I'm going to be the first one to address the elephant in the room with Leave It to Beaver. Who names their kid Beaver? Who nicknames their kids Beaver? I don't know. I've never heard of any other kid named after a small mammal like that. Actually, beavers are pretty big, but still, who nicknames their kid Beaver? The kid didn't even have beaver teeth. I had beaver teeth growing up. That kid didn't have beaver teeth.
Somebody that would name their kid Beaver is somebody that did not believe in personal hygiene.
I think his real name was Theodore. Nickname was Beaver.
Wow. Well, you see, that's the thing. Leave It to Beaver. I mean, the show headline named was Leave It to Beaver. Okay, Leave It to Beaver was one of those shows that probably had a lot of innuendos and you didn't know about. And I'm pretty sure if you go back in history and watch it again, and you'll be like, hey, wait a minute, this is a quality television show. So there's a lot of shows that actually really did hold, the double standard, if you will. It's one thing for kids or a family, it's another for adults, and it kept you wondering, really, what did they mean by that? Now, one of the shows that actually did that was, of course, Genie. Somebody mentioned Genie a minute ago. And, Genie had so much comedy that it was so much innuendo. And not only that, it was also very understandable. You didn't have to explain it to your children, sort of thing. So Genie was one of those that had a double standard. And I would dare say also I Love Lucy. Wow. See, it's, you know, um, reminiscing through the years is a lot of fun for everyone, I think, because everyone can relate to it. There must have been something through your childhood or your upbringing that you actually watched and you said, I love this. This is a great idea. Although you had to come across a show that you couldn't stand. Now, my question to you is, what show you couldn't stand? I mean, you couldn't even see it across your television. You would turn it off rather than flip the switch. Personally, it was Barney.
story you're about to see is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
One show I cannot understand is Modern Family.
Oh, I love Modern Family, especially that hot blonde MILF. What's her name? Mrs. Dunphy. Oh my goodness, I'd give anything to spend one night with her.
I like Modern Family as well. Modern Family was a modern take on what a show should be, to be honest with you. The concept of having it look like a documentary, but it wasn't. It's been done before, of course, like The Office was done in the same format. But Modern Family had a little more charm to it because you dealt with families that were odd and people that you didn't understand, yet you can relate to.
See, that was an awesome show because it gave me, when I was a kid, I thought, I never want to go to war. I don't want to get shot at, right? So the one beautiful thing that MASH gave to me was a way out. I was like, you know what? If the draft ever picks up and I get sent to war, I swear up and down, I will clinger my way out of that thing. I will clinger my way out of that war. I will put on, I'll put it all on, bras and panties and dresses. Now this is only at wartime, okay? This is only a time of war. I want to specify. This is not an everyday thing for me, but, if it comes down to it, I'll do it.
Well, yeah. See, Klinger, you had to love Klinger. You really had to love Klinger. Pacifist, and he didn't like war. He didn't like the idea of it. He didn't understand what the war was about, and he didn't care really at one point. What he cared about was getting the hell out of Dodge. And, well, it wasn't just Klinger. If you really looked at it, there was another character there, which was the quirkiest. And you had to love it. The doctors themselves also, they didn't really like being there as well. So, it was a show about the atrocities of the war. But it was presented tastefully, beautifully, and with a very, very good sense of humor. MASH would be one of those top shows that you can never forget. But here's a show that actually defied everything else. And it went the opposite direction on everything else. I think some people actually call it the degrading of American culture. And that show was named to be Married with Children.
Oh, no. Here's one more for you guys, just to think about before you go to Rob's idea.
Yes. Give me a good cop show that sounds like it's starting off with some pretty decent softcore porn music. There's Barney Miller, that bass line, boom, 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 boom. That and the WKRP theme song was pretty fantastic as well. Not as porny, but good. And now I'm caught between Barney Miller and Married with Children. And Married with Children was great, great at the time, like smut, right? At the time, smut. Because, I mean, Al had a job where he's just bending down, putting on shoes, where he's like eye level with breasts like constantly all day. Never mind you that they were, and I don't know how he judged them, but whatever. But that always reminded me also a little bit of it felt like All in the Family Part 2, but I was too young to understand that till I got older.
Now, funny you mentioned All in the Family. That was actually my second guess. All in the Family was the show that did not go along with everyone else on television. All in the Family, of course, was very risque in its own right. And to be honest with you, it couldn't have been got any more risque than ever. And then, of course, it spun off into other shows that came along with it. Remember George and Wheezy? Those shows, of course, they were spin-offs, believe it or not, off of that. So it was really interesting how that show, All in the Family, kind of started it all. But when it comes to, Married with Children, they took it a step further. And it's like, oh, you think that's bad? Wait till you see this.
Boy, the way Glenn Miller played songs that made the hit parade. Guys like us, we had it made. Those were the days. And we knew when you were there. Dance for girls and everyone. Wish that we could use a man like Hoover Hoover. Everybody pulls his weight. G.R.O. was sorry great. Those were the
days. And Mr. Talk Radio just brought up Three's Company. Talk about smut for the time. It was like, I mean, they may as well have just called it the Menage a Trois show.
Well, Mama.
Oh, yeah. Three's Company was another one of those shows that, they took it to the other level. But you see, all these shows, they really came out in the 70s and the 80s. And it really was when the American culture left its innocence. The 50s and 60s. Those were supposedly the innocent years. And, where everything was proper and everyone dressed in a suit. And every girl had to wear a skirt, sort of. And, and then the 70s came along, and that was like, a woman can be a force to be reckoned with. And then that made sense, and it was a whole new concept. It was brilliant. The history of television really is littered with these very, very good shows that if you watch them again, if you really watch them again, and of course, if you're tuning in right now, we're talking about, we're reminiscing through the years. It's the end of the year. What else can we do? Hey, remember those years when you actually were growing up and actually watched these interesting shows and you didn't really get them? Well, go back and watch them now. You'll get them. I promise. It'll be a lot more fun.
See, and you know what I love about this? And Rob, you may have to put the question out there for everybody. This is y'all's show, and I'm sorry I'm crashing it and chiming in. My bad. But you may have to put this begs the question, because I'll get to the question in a second. Three's Company took this smut, and then they threw in Don Knotts,
who came, out of Mr. Limpet, Andy Griffith, all that stuff. This guy is wholesome. This guy is clean as clean can be. And then they put him into Three's Company, where he is just, he's that creepy uncle. You know what I'm talking about? He is that guy that comes in and he's like, he's an old guy, and he's like, want some of that, like in every show. So this kind of begs the question, and maybe you could put it out there: are there any other shows maybe that people can think of where they all of a sudden they throw in a character where you're like, whoa, I never imagined that actor portraying a character like that?
Absolutely, and that is a very good question, and I will stand by that question. In fact, that's a very good one. The one I can honestly think of, it would have to be Police Squad. Leslie Nielsen was not a comedian as much people would remember. Leslie Nielsen was a very, very successful actor who actually did even episodes, believe it or not, now you're going to laugh, from The Twilight Zone. Leslie Nielsen has been around for decades, and then Police Squad comes around, and this very standard male, handsome, white collar, straightforward, well-spoken, mildly mannered, tough man comes out as a silly guy.
Police Squad in color. Starring Leslie Nielsen. Also starring Alan North. And Rex Hamilton as Abraham Lincoln. Tonight's special guest star, Lorne Greene. Tonight's episode, The Broken Promise.
Yeah, there you go. Then that also brought in wholesome, clean, athletic O.J. Simpson. Now this is pre Bronco on the Highway O.J. Simpson, and all of a sudden, he's in all the Naked Gun movies with Leslie Nielsen, and that just cracks me up.
I think when it comes to Leslie Nielsen, his defining moment was, of course, the show. There's no doubt about it, and the show was a big hit. But Airplane would have to be my very favorite performance of his. I mean, Naked Guns were funny, and they were modeled after, of course, the show. But the truth of the matter, I honestly think Airplane, the first and the second, really, really, really were way up there. And this is one of those movies that I think they're timeless at this very moment. It had everything. It really did. It had it for kids. It had it for adults, and mostly adults, really. And it was just too crazy. Airplane, Leslie Nielsen. I'll always remember him in that role, to be honest.
That, and then again, we bring in wholesome June Cleaver. I can't remember the actress. Oh, Barbara Billingsley? And then she comes in, and that woman starts jive talking. And I think that's what happens when any wholesome, clean actor meets Mel Brooks. And then he takes them and says, all right, here's what I'm going to do with you, you nice, wholesome, clean, young thing. I'm going to take you. I'm going to do this with you, like he did with Gene Wilder, like he did with Leslie Nielsen, like he did with June Cleaver. That's the magic. I guess that's the magic of Mel Brooks.
Ever see a grown man naked? Yeah, one of the first controversial sitcoms was Soap. Remember that? Billy Crystal. And a little off the subject, but one of my favorites were Green Acres. I thought that was a very funny show.
Included a 75-mile chase on Los Angeles freeways and ended with Simpson's surrender in the driveway of his Brentwood home.
Yeah, wasn't Benson on that soap as well?
I'm gonna start binge watching. Is it called Soap? Believe it or not, that's a show that I missed entirely, and everybody's making it sound really good so far.
Oh, Soap is great. Soap is absolutely great. I think you're gonna get a kick out of it. Yes, you are. See, now again, we are here at the Brain Tool Show tonight, celebrating the entire years that we grew up with. Anything that comes to your mind, any time of any era you want to think of, imagine this. You can go back and actually watch them. The good news is there's a lot of streaming services out there that actually do offer that, starting with Netflix and working your way down. Of course, there are some free ones as well. So, be on the lookout for the old stuff, because the old stuff is quality, believe it or not. Not to mention, now we covered almost every era or every decade, with the exception of the 90s. Who does remember anything from the 90s? Now, I personally remember Seinfeld and Friends. And there's a lot of shows in the 90s, but those two, for some reason, were, I think, a very, very good defiant of the 90s.
My episode, my favorite of Seinfeld. Sorry, I maybe I'm going on a tangent here, and I don't want to go on a tangent, but I just want to mention my favorite episode. He forgets the name of his girlfriend, and all he can remember is that it rhymes with a female body part.
Well, Hardy, believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could be so good. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. How about Great American Hero?
Was it Malva?
For one, my favorite episode of Seinfeld would have to be two of them. Shrinkage was really funny. It really is timeless. And the Soup Nazi. I mean, come on. Who doesn't like the Soup Nazi? But there's a lot of funny moments out of that show. Really, tons of funny moments. And then you have Friends that comes out of nowhere. Friends was a completely 360 degrees of what a sitcom should be. It's, three boys and three girls who became friends somehow. And, you are on a journey of their madness. If you really come to think of it, every moment of every episode counts on that show. There's not one bad episode. But if I was to choose one, really, which is really a difficult one, it would have to be Thanksgiving with Brad Pitt when he yells, "Yams!"
Mama, not the 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 mama.
You do that one more time, and I'm going to throw you across the room.
And yeah, I don't know. I would have to say the episode where Joey says, "How you doing?" And as far as, I like the Soup Nazi. Rob the Brain, I take it you're the type of guy that went back and rewatched every single episode just to see where each and every Superman reference was.
I like the episode where Elaine does her dance. That's very funny. And one thing about Friends, when you have all the cameos, Brad Pitt, Bruce Willis, Tom Selleck, they're all very good episodes. Usually when you have a celebrity, they're not very, you got the celebrity, you don't have to do anything, but all the, every celebrity that was on Friends is a very funny episode.
Yeah, my favorite episode of Seinfeld was the one episode that had a Superman reference.
See, the 90s offered also a lot of good television. There was very good sitcoms out there. Really, there was. But those, I don't know why I can only think of those two. Can you think of any other in the 90s that were really, really hit? Oh, another one, dear to my heart. And I own the DVD set, believe it or not, that's how much I liked it. Very mild comedy, but it was funny. It was really funny. And there's a lot of innuendos in it. And if you watch it again, there's hidden jokes in there. Would have to be Wings. I was really a big fan of Wings. about this little tiny Nantucket airport and a tiny airline owned by two brothers who were bickering for the most part, and it was pretty funny.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air.
Man, I don't know. Are we doing the 90s now? Yeah, that was a good one, computer chick. Prince of Bel Air. How about the X-Files?
Don't laugh at me. I used to be a big fan of 90210 Beverly Hills.
Oh, shoot. Somebody went 90210 on us. That one. And what was the other one that was so similar to that, that kind of aired about the same time?
Melrose Place. I remember that because it was the worst hour for me personally on television. You could flip it on any other channel and it's pretty much the same show. But speaking of interesting sitcoms, do you remember the nanny named Fran?
No, we don't remember her. We have watched her and her laughter out of our memories forever and ever and ever. I lower you, Fran, and I raise you a third rock from the sun.
Don't forget about Saved by the Bell.
That was one long P. Wow. You know, the 90s also offered very good shows. Third Rock from the Sun was very, very funny. I thought it was. And I followed it, you know. And there was another one, too. Does anybody remember the Drew Carey show?
Oh, my gosh. I remember Drew Carey. I had a friend that at the time was really into Weezer, and he tried to wear the Rivers Cuomo Buddy Holly glasses. If you guys remember Weezer from the 90s, that band. And I was like, my God, he doesn't look like Rivers, though. I can't figure out who he looks like. And then until finally one night, somebody just told my friend, somebody goes, take off those goddamn glasses. You don't look like Rivers Cuomo. You look like Drew Carey. And I was like, oh, my God, that's who he looks like.
Was Frasier in the 90s or just the reruns? And, Drew Carey, he was a Marine, and he looks totally different when he was like 21. He was a good-looking guy. I've seen, they showed pictures of him. He doesn't even look like himself.
Shut the front door. It is hard to picture Drew Carey as a Marine. That's for real? That's like legit. I'm going to have to look that up. That's awesome.
Yes, yeah, actually he was a Marine. And yes, the Frasier show was absolutely in the 90s. Yes, you're absolutely right. You know, but then this happened. Right after the 90s, we came to the year, 2000, 2010, that decade. You know, sitcoms started to dwindle down. Now they're coming back, but they started to dwindle down, and it was the ushering era of what they called reality TV. I thought reality TV sucks. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is entertaining, but it sucked because there was no more production. Nobody's doing shows anymore. Really, nobody does shows like that ever again. And just recently, all of a sudden, you have these sitcoms popping everywhere, which is finally, I am happy to say, we have enough to watch.
Yeah, I've kind of caught myself watching more TV because of that. And I know there's people, like you said, it's entertaining. I know there's people that love it and enjoy it. It definitely wasn't my cup of tea because I had my own life and my own drama to live. I really couldn't get stressed out, my blood pressure high watching everybody else's. That was like I feel maybe a little earlier, but like the downfall of MTV also, they started putting all that up, all the reality shows.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. MTV started out with their very first video was Video Killed a Radio Star, and and then yeah, they went from all videos to all TV, reality TV. It's like, well, that was called music television, not reality television, or on reality, scripted, trying to be reality television.
I don't mean to take it back another decade, but another big one that I was into, I want to say like maybe early 90s, probably early 90s, was Quantum Leap. And I could binge watch that thing over and over and over.
Had the Real World MTV, probably one of the first reality. That's probably the only one I probably ever watched was the. Remember that one guy, Puck? He had a refrigerator. Then they said, "You guys can have whatever you want, but these bottom three are going to be for beer."
I got two. First one brings me back to my childhood, Doctor Who, where you go into the teleport phone booth, and teleport all around the world. And then that brings up, of course, Bill and Ted, Excellent Adventures. Brings about modern day where you're trying to knuckle down and get your assignments done in school to graduate. That you'd do anything to do it and go back in time. That's awesome.
Well, you see, guys, we've remembered everything pretty much, and very good shows. Interesting decades, really. We've seen it all, heard it all. From the Huxtables to to Friends. We remembered them all. Well, nobody mentioned the Huxtables, but I am. You have to admit, it was a very good show, The Cosby Show. Sadly, with the turn of events, the show is scrubbed completely. If it was on reruns or syndicated, it's no more. But hey, it's nobody's fault. Really, it wasn't. In a way, we're not going to go into why the Cosby Show is no longer on the air, and if you ever want to get it, you're going to have to get it through a streaming company or a streaming service. But you have to admit also, the 80s, not to bring you back to the 80s, but the 80s also was dominated by the Cosby Show. The Cosby Show was the most dominant show arguably ever. I mean, on average, 60 million people were watching it on a 24-hour cycle. 60 million. That was the average viewership of that show. A number.
Crazy. Yeah, the Cosby Show is pretty good. And yeah, the time machine is called the TARDIS. Time and relative dimension in space or something like that. But yeah, if we go back to the 80s, then you gotta throw out all the other shows he did. Like Kids Say the Damnedest Things and Picture Pages and Fat Albert.
Oh, of course. You have to remember those things. And yeah, I can even do you one better. You had Charles in Charge. I don't know why I'm remembering this. And of course, you had Happy Days. There was a lot of stuff back in the 80s. But see, folks, here we are. This is our last show of the year. And we're about to roll credits and say Happy New Year to you all. But before we do that, just a quick thought here. Today wasn't the funniest show we've done, but it was definitely a show for you to remember. And the whole moral of this is that, remember, Those years, well, it might go on by, and you might actually relive them or feel nostalgic, which is a good thing. But you know what? Make new memories, because you're constantly making new memories. And the more memories you make, the more you'll go back into nostalgia, sit back, turn on that television and say, I remember that day when that aired, or I remember watching it with so and so, you know. And that's basically what the new year is all about. It's another year, it's another memory, it's another making friends and losing some. For those who died, we give our thoughts and prayers. Of course, we all remember a friend of ours here in the ROC. I believe, well, King Chronic, aka Jason, has passed away 3 days ago. Was it 2 days ago? My sincere apologies. And our thoughts, prayers, and condolences go to his family at this very moment. Not to end the show on a sad moment, but remember you're dead. Remember you're fallen. And not only that, to make new memories. So, from our production team, we're going to have to say goodnight. We love you. Thank you very much for watching, very much for listening and participating into the Brain Tool Show. I'm going to leave the mic for my co-host here, and then we'll be back telling you the credits.
Right on, Mr. Rob the Brain. I would like to thank you, everybody out there listening, and especially somewhere up there in the heavens, Mr. Jason, aka King Chronic, who may be listening up there in the heavens. I would like to play a special little song. I'm hopefully he can hear this up there, and just for you listeners, maybe just a little tidbit.
Picture pages, time to get your picture pages, time to get your crayons and your pencils. Picture pages, open up your picture pages, time to watch Bill Cosby do a picture page with you.
That was very, very fitting. All right. Well, our credits go as this. We would like to thank our executive producer by Computer Chick. Thank you very much. And, of course, Rattlesnake, LBT, and all of the ROC members for actually protecting us and giving us this particular platform here on CB Radio Drama Free. Once again, if you actually want to come and be a part of this show, yes, you can. All you have to do is download Zello, go into channel search, type in CB Radio Drama Free, and you will come to our channel. This is where we actually reside. And by reside, I mean virtually on this particular channel. So you're more than welcome to come and hang with us as the crew. It's a fun crew to be around with. And last but not least, from our families and our particular group here, we say to you, Happy New Year. And thank you for being a part of us. Twitch, you've been good to us. And of course, YouTube, you've been very good to us as well. So we would like to thank each and every one of you listeners and supporters, of course, those who actually air our show on other channels. Again, your support is not gone unnoticed. We're wishing you a happy 2019 and Happy New Year, and good night to you all. This has been an ROC production.